Slips and falls, the number one cause of winter injuries, and with the new changes when it comes to filing injury claims, disability and injury lawyer Nainesh Kotak joins us to explain what we need to know with the coming changes. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Bob. Thanks for having me.
So, first of all, as a personal injury lawyer, how much of your business does this make up? How common are these kind of injuries in winter?
Right. So obviously, as the season hits, as we get into January and February, traditionally it does get quite busy with people falling and you're really having quite significant injuries. You're falling on ice or snow. We see types of injuries, including knee fractures, ankle fractures, and sometimes head injuries. And this obviously is when people are more out and about. Things are, a little different during lockdown, but, there still are risks out there and there still are people getting injured. So, Bob, normally there's a 2-year limitation period to sue the occupier or independent contractor, who was supposed to clean the snow or ice. And that remains under the new legislation. But what has changed, and this is going to affect many claims, and people should be aware of it, is there's a 60-day notice period that needs to be done by personal delivery or registered mail on an occupier, meaning an owner of a property where you may fall, whether it's a mall or an independent contractor that is the one who cleans the snow. Now, there always was a 10-day notice period to put the municipality on notice if you fall on a sidewalk or a road, and you got to prove not just plain negligence with the municipality, but gross negligence, which means recklessness. But there never was this notice requirement, for other property owners. And Bob, I think it's a real balancing act. You see, property owners and independent contractors were complaining that, look, sometimes we don't know there's an incident that has happened. And, getting close to the 2-year mark, we get a lawsuit or a letter indicating this fall occurred, and it's more difficult for them to investigate because, the surveillance might have gone, but, you'd expect that the contractor would keep log notes. So this was a private member's bill that took traction and has now come into force. But there's some real difficulties with a 60-day notice period. First of all, it actually, sometimes legislation leads to unintended consequences. There may actually be more litigation because once people become aware of the 60-day notice period, they're going to run and go to lawyers quicker than they normally would have, and would wait and see, am I going to get better? Is it minor or is it more serious?
And that's kind of hard because they don't know at that early stage how their injuries develop and whether the claim is legitimate. They're compelled or forced to rush it through, right?
Exactly, and that could present actual more litigation on occupiers and independent contractors than what they see right now. On the other hand, there could be very legitimate claims where people, they don't know they have the right to sue, or they're dealing with their physical or psychological injuries, so they don't go to a lawyer and they're not aware of the 60-day notice period and they miss it. So those are the unintended consequences, that legitimate claims could get barred, but also you could see, far greater litigation. One of the reasons behind it was insurance premiums have gone up for independent contractors. And anybody who's really watching now who does snow plowing, cleaning of malls, et cetera, the parking lots, will know. And I've got many friends in that business, is that their insurance premiums were skyrocketing, often irrespective of any claims or notices. So this was some of the rationale behind it, that, okay, maybe we can reduce claims by putting this notice period in so there's less lawsuits. But, I think the premium issue is a separate one, that the premiums are going up really at the behest of insurance companies, to make their profit, as opposed to what's happening in terms of the claim world out there. So I as much as I sympathize with the independent contractors and their premiums, because it's putting many out of business, I don't think it is getting a 60-day notice period will actually solve their concerns of their premiums, in fact.
Okay, many more questions. We'll link up Kotak Law at chch.com. Nainesh, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Take care.